Hola mis corazones, thanks for joining me today in Corazón Kitchen. We're going to be making some conchas today. Here is the recipe. You can find it on my bio on Instagram. We're going to start with 1 warm cup of whole milk. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. We're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes while we start gathering all of the other ingredients. You want to give it a couple of stirs to let it bubble a little bit. Now, conchas are a sweet bread, and you're going to absolutely love the taste. In this particular bread, you're going to taste this sugar. So we're going to start with 3/4 cup of sugar. We're going to also take 2 room temperature eggs. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of salt. We're going to give it some time to mix a little bit. I like to mix it on slow just to let all the ingredients come together. I'm going to also add a tablespoon of cinnamon. You can choose to add a little bit of vanilla as well. Then we're going to start slowly adding our flour. We need 3 3/4 cups of flour. And as you can see, I'm taking my time. You need to be patient. I like to use the mixer because it makes cleanup very easily, but you can easily do all of this in a bowl or right on the counter. So again, I'm just letting it stir a little bit, and then I'm adding more flour because we want our sweet bread to be delicious and we want to give it the time it needs. So adding a little bit more flour, and we're getting closer. And we're on the tail end of our flour there. So now we're going to take a peek to see how this mixture is doing before we add the butter, because the butter always goes last. And there's a scientific reason for that. It has something to do with gluten. I'm not an expert when it comes to the scientific parts of baking, but it's something that you can do some research on. But it's nice to keep an eye on the mixture. As you can see, it's not ready yet, but it is ready for that room temperature stick of butter. Before I put in the butter, I like to see what it feels like when I check the dough. And so after I let the butter mix in there, I used that hook earlier for mixing the dough. I do what's called a window pane test. You probably cannot see it on your end, but on my end, I'm able to see through the dough. And that helps me know that the dough is ready for me to put it in a nice, warm spot. So I like to place mine in the oven, and I let it set there for 1 to 2 hours until it doubles in size. Remember, it's not turned on, so do not turn on your oven. It's nice if it was a little warm before you put it in. So let's get the ingredients for the concha paste. Hola mis corazones. Ahora vamos a hacer el topping. Now we are going to make the topping for the conchas. Are you ready? Vengan a ayudarme. Come help me. We will begin by placing 1 1/2 cup of flour in the bowl. And now we will add 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar. Do you see that? It looks like flour, but it's powdered sugar. You know, in Spanish, the word for flour is harina, and the word for sugar is azúcar. Now we will need a half a cup of butter flavored shortening. You can use butter if you want, and you can use shortening instead of the butter flavored shortening. I just really like the taste of the butter shortening in my paste. So it's up to you. You decide. So once I have all of those together, I let them mix for a little bit. And I just watch it. This is what my topping masa looks like now. I'm choosing red, green, and white. I probably don't need the white, but I did want the dough to look, or the topping to look just a little bit lighter. These are food coloring bottles that I found at the store, at the craft store actually, and they're pretty inexpensive. I paid maybe $1.50 for each of these. So it's much easier if you grab the dough and put some dots of food coloring on it, and then mix it up like this until you can get the color through the entire topping. That's almost really pretty there with the marbling. Almost just want to leave it like that. Oh, look at that. That's going to look so pretty on top of my cookie. You're going to notice that it looks a little bit like Play-Doh. So you'll be able to form it. Except remember, this is what's going to be the topping of your conchas. How beautiful that is. Rojo. Can you say rojo? Rojo. Red. If you're in your kitchen right now wondering how much longer is it going to take, ¿cuánto tiempo más va a tomar para poder comerme esta concha, to eat these conchas? Well, it's almost time. So, we've allowed the dough to rise. Look how beautiful that looks. And then the first thing we do is punch it. And we just start doing balls like this. And we make them super round. And then we place them on the tray, just like that. I'm going to be making some bigger ones, and I'm going to be making some smaller ones. And for the bigger ones, I need to leave a lot of extra space because they will grow. So once I do this, I'm going to let them sit for another while, maybe an hour, maybe less, so that they can grow again. So now I'm going to make some little ones. And all I have to do is pick up the dough and then I just squeeze it. Do you see that? So that's much smaller than these. Now, if you want, you can also make shapes. I like to make hearts out of mine. And all I do is just I flatten them, place them down here, and then I just cut a little slit there, and it makes it a heart. I'll show you in just a bit. The shape that I need for today has to be circles, but I've seen people make all kinds of shapes. There was recently one that my daughter really liked, which was the duck that was representing Mexico for the FIFA World Cup, which was a duck that was seen walking around in a parade with a green jersey for Mexico. Alright, so I'm going to need another tray, or I could probably put some of these little ones over here on the side. They shouldn't grow that much bigger. want to know how to make them into the heart shape, the easiest way to do it is to flatten it just a little bit and take some kitchen shears and just cut it down one side and then just form it a little bit, and that makes the perfect heart. You see that? Mis corazones, believe it or not, I completely forgot to film myself putting the conchas in the oven and taking them out, but here they are, nice and warm and moist. They were delicious with a little bit of cafecito and these beautiful flowers my husband received for Father's Day. Here is my Instagram if you need the recipe. Thanks for joining me today.